Okay, here are the colleagues. Last week of school. Okay. So, hi everyone, thank you all for coming. Today I'll be talking about some results from the American School Climate Survey that was administered to a small group of faculty members a couple of weeks ago by me. And I'm doing this for a teacher leader program at Jacksonville State University. Okay, there were 25 questions on the survey. The survey was anonymous. I received 10 surveys back from the ones that were distributed. 5 male, 5 female responders based on the data they gave at the beginning of the survey. And the experience range of the teachers was from 3 years to 38 years. So quite a range there. All the questions gave the following 5 response options. Strongly disagree, disagree, not sure, agree, and strongly agree. So to collect my data, I just assigned each of these responses a number from 1 to 5. Then I related my data back to the correlates of effective schools, which will be referenced on the last slide. There are 7 correlates of effective schools: safe and orderly environment, climate of high expectations for success, instructional leadership, clear and focused mission, opportunity to learn, and student time on task. Frequent monitoring of student progress, home-school relations. The ones that are bolded are the 4 that directly relate to this survey. The ones that are not bolded were not really addressed in the survey questions. And I'm going to focus more on correlate 1 and 2, which is safe, orderly environment, and a climate of high expectations. Okay, safe, orderly environment. So my thought with this was, let's look at the basics first. Are we providing a safe and orderly environment for the students to learn? And that's sort of the foundation for any type of achievement. And the results were, yes, we are providing that. Question 1, is the school a safe place? Almost everyone agreed or strongly agreed with that. 4.8 was the average. Do students fight at school? Teachers on the whole disagreed with that. 1.5 was the average number, which is assigned to even just barely to disagree. It's almost strongly disagree. And teachers at school work to foster a supportive climate. That was 4.2. So yes, we are providing a safe and orderly environment according to this survey. So then I looked at correlate 2, which is what I'm going to talk about mostly. High expectations. So I've got the questions in a different order than they appear on the survey because I think it follows sort of a logical approach to thinking about student success. First of all, are the students capable of success, basically? And according to the survey responders, yes, they are capable of success. 4.2 agree they are capable of success. Do teachers help support them in their success? Yes, we strongly agree that we're supporting their success. And the last one was interesting. Are students motivated to learn? Most people were not sure. And it even tends toward the lower scale and disagree that they're not motivated to learn. So why? That's what we'll have to talk about in a minute. Because they're not motivated, which could be a factor in them not performing, we asked teachers, would students demonstrate success? On question 23, students in the school will have difficulty in core academic subjects regardless of strength of instruction. Most people did say that they disagree, that students will not have very much difficulty. But when you broke it up, there was kind of a large difference between what the teachers with less than 10 years experience thought and what the teachers with more than 10 years experience thought. The teachers with less than 10 years experience tended to more strongly disagree. They tended to think that students wouldn't have as much difficulty with their academic subjects regardless of instruction. Whereas the teachers with more years of experience said they weren't sure, that they almost thought that they would have more difficulty in the academic subjects regardless of instruction, that some people would just struggle regardless of the amount of support that they received. So I thought that was really interesting because the mean being 3.0 here and 1.8 here, that's kind of a big difference between the less experienced and the more experienced teachers. So in conclusion, looking at the survey, I thought the survey revealed that our school is safe and orderly and that for the most part students are capable. However, they may be lacking motivation and their future success is somewhat uncertain because we as a faculty haven't really decided whether or not they will be able to achieve regardless of our supports. So my thought on this, how do we increase student motivation in order, which was the question that revealed that most of us thought we weren't sure, even some of us disagreed that perhaps students are not motivated. So how do we increase that motivation for them? I thought of some ideas and I wanted to get your thoughts too. One idea was an incentive for exam exemption. Right now we have exemption for seniors in their second semester. Some people would say that perhaps we could exempt exams for the lower grades too, according to their grades and attendance. Maybe students would be more motivated to achieve if they were in school more and receiving that support that their teachers, according to the survey, really want to offer. Another insight into how to increase motivation is going to come possibly naturally with the new diploma that we're going to have, which is more directed towards student-specific interests. Students who are interested in fine arts can take all 3 elective courses in an academy-style fine art route, whereas students who are more interested in technical classes can take 3 classes in that avenue. And maybe if we tailor what we're teaching more to the students' future interests, they will display more motivation. Another thought was career counseling. We don't seem to have, at least from my observation, a specific career counselor here at the school. So if students were potentially more focused on how they could use what they learn in school for their future and tailor that plan, then they would improve in their motivation and performance. I think as I've worked with some kids during the advisory course that we've offered this year, even just a little bit talking to them about their future goals, I can see where they definitely perform better in the classes that relate to those future aspirations. We also have a state-mandated career preparedness course now, which should help them figure out earlier on what they want to do, or at least some idea of what they want to do after they graduate from high school. So now I would love to hear any of your thoughts or reactions to this survey in regards to increasing student motivation or anything else that you've heard today.
I love the exam exemption idea. I came from a high school that did that, and I know it for sure motivated me to be at school more and also to make better grades. You know, I think I would have maybe made better, good grades anyway, but just being there. And then it also, I just know that was like it fostered a culture of attendance.
Right.
So I think that would help a lot. That's a great idea.
I agree with that. We seem to have a pretty significant attendance issue, whether it's tardiness or just not being at school. So I think that might help, because I did notice, and I didn't do a data study on this, but I did notice that the seniors who were required to be here the 4th semester showed an increase in their grades, in my class at least.
Are you saying that if you're in school more, your grade will be higher?
I believe that would be a possible outcome.
Wow.
So any other ideas other than?
I feel like we need to do something with parents.
Yeah, one part of this survey was parent-student-teacher relationship. And actually, I didn't put the results for that up there because I only have a limited time frame, but some of those were interesting too. The survey result about do teachers actually know the parents of their students. Most teachers said they were not sure too, they disagreed in that range about whether they actually knew their students' caregivers, but we were on the high end for do we feel like parents are supportive of the school? It was agreed to, strongly agreed, but we don't really know them, so how do we know that? We just assume that they're supportive. Do you have any ideas for that, what we could do?
Not really, not off the top of my head, but my most unmotivated kids seem to have the most unmotivated parents.
Right.
I don't think some of the parents have the skill set to be parents.
Right.
If that makes any sense, a lot of them, like when you call them, they say, well, I don't know how to make my child come to
Right.
school. I don't know how to make my child not have else, and I'm kind of, not always confused, I'm not a parent, but it confuses me that you don't know how to make your child come to school.
Right.
I don't feel like that should be a problem, but I think some of them might need some coaching themselves.
Right, maybe something at the beginning of high school, along with the other orientation activities for students, we could have some for parents, like orienting them to our system here at the school, and possibly even providing some information about how to contact us or how to support your child at home, things like that.
That'd be great now.
I think it's a culture too, or it needs to be a culture change that it's kind of like, I'm the parent, but you're the teacher, so that's your job to do that. And so there's not really, it's not a working together thing. It's kind of
Right.
like, it's your job to motivate my
So
child
we've got to have
to do the work.
increased contact in order to work together, which we all know is difficult, with our schedules, and so that's a whole nother thing that will.
But I think it is a little bit of a culture change too, because a lot of people are under the impression that that's not really their job. So
Right.
they're to teach their child.
Right.
You're right, they say, I'll take care of home, you take care of the kid stuff, and it's, with the pressure that we have to
School's
make.
very different than it used to be. I mean, kids are expected to do a lot more at much younger ages than they
Yeah.
ever used to be, and so parents don't really know what that's like.
Mhm.
And if they haven't been to college, then they definitely don't know what that aspect is like either.
Right.
Yeah, we hear all the time, if I pass high school, they can pass high school. And I don't know
It's
that
very
that's very
different
true, yeah, for some kids, they struggle, more than I think their parents even know, so.
We've got to figure out a way to make, and I think we're definitely on a cycle of continuous improvement. We've got to figure out a way to make our school work continuously for student achievement, increased student achievement. And from what I've seen, we've got to work on increased student motivation, and then from what I'm hearing from y'all, as well as what was presented with the Correlate 7 homeschool relations, I think we also really need to work on increasing communication with parents and helping to build supports at home. Would you agree? Okay. Well, I just want to show you my resource, which if any of you are interested in looking at the 7 correlates, you can look at Lawrence Lazat's Correlates of Effective Schools, the first and second generation, because even these correlates have evolved. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.